Hi, and welcome back. Welcome to Coffee with Bessie and Mom. Um, I hope everyone is doing well and everything is going great in your world and your life. We had rain yesterday. Boy, did we need it. We had a beautiful rainbow, a wonderful reminder of God's promises to us. I am so going to load it for the next show that I do. The rainbow either began or ended, I don't know one end from the other, but it either began or ended an airfield, and it kind of encompassed their whole farm. It was so neat. Try to remember to load the picture for next time. And as always, let's start with our scripture, which is always Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Again, boy, every time I read those words, they mean more and more each time. So last time, I'll back up a little bit. We're talking today basically about how it all, cancer itself kind of impacts the whole family. It's not just the person that's being treated, and it ends up with extra questions and ponderings and thoughts and everything like that. And it would be cool if my phone wasn't like leaving this big, huge message in the background. Anyway, once it was finished with last week, she said that she remembered it was something that she wanted to talk about. And we're already sort of talking about this line of treatment and things like that. So we're just going to continue with the conversation that we were actually having before I hit the record button. So, what did you think about from last week? Once it was all finished, that you were like, how would you discuss this? What was that?
Well, we were talking about how I felt and stuff during your treatments and everything. And I realized I forgot to bring up one of the most significant moments to me, I guess.
There was a significant moment to you.
Yeah.
Last time we did this, both of us were like, oh, my, that side view is really not something I should repeat. So then that leaves you with going, so what did you think of things? And it's like, I don't know, that doesn't work either. Yeah. So y'all are going to have to deal with my side view. I am so sorry.
Maybe I could just look at you from like the side of my
No. Either way, it's sort of like, nothing really works. It's not good. But it's the way God made us, so I guess we're happy. So as you were saying, sweetie pie.
I was thinking about how the last time I had seen you in that time period was like a day before your chemo had started. Mm-hmm. And you hadn't cut your hair real short yet. It was like down to here, I think, that day when we went out to eat together.
I think it was. No. Wasn't that already a tuck here? Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
It was longer than mine is now, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, after that, you had all your appointments and stuff, and I had stuff, and we couldn't really see each other because our schedules weren't for weeks.
That's true.
And then, so the last time I saw you, we were having lunch, and your hair was like down here, and you were, yourself. And then weeks passed, and the next time I saw you, you had lost all your hair and you were having a bit of a tough day, and it was a big change.
Have you ever seen me having a day like that one? Like ever? Don't make me cry too.
Why didn't we bring tissues or anything?
I
to
don't know.
this?
I had some leftover paper towel over here. I can share with you. It's really clean.
I even warned you. This is going to be an emotional moment for me.
I remember
Mhm.
the day that you were talking about. I talked about it on my previous channel or show, whatever. And I had, before I got sick, I had ordered a bunch of mulberry trees. And they arrived, I think it was maybe 12, it might have been 10. And they arrived after the treatment had already begun. And I didn't have any choice but to go ahead and plant them. I mean, you can't be like, okay, trees, y'all fend for yourselves, see you in a few months. So I had to go ahead and plant them. And unfortunately, it had gotten hot, it had gotten dry. The soil had gotten hard as a brick. Even with my rotund self bouncing around on the shovel, it was more like a pogo stick without very much forgiveness in the spring. And it was going absolutely horrible. It was taking forever. I was having to take a lot of breaks because I was so weak. And I had told everyone that reach out for help. People don't mind helping you. So it was her, the neighbor that I was like, came in and helped me. It's her man that came in and helped me. And she came too. And I don't know that she's ever seen me in such a literal mess as she did that day. It was even me with, oh, now it's my turn to cry. Even me in my mind. It was just split. Sure. In my mind's eye, when I even replayed that day, it was so hard. And I was so angry at my body for letting me down so. And I've never been so weak as I was during that treatment. Even to do something like to vacuum or something, it required breaks. I'd have to vacuum a little bit and sit down and take a break. And vacuum a little bit more and sit down and take another break. And it was something that I wasn't prepared for because I've never been so weak and such, I don't know, kind of dependent. My cousin describes me as being fiercely independent, and I didn't ever really realize I was until he said it. And to reach out to someone and say, can you help me or whatever, came hard. And that day, to get to the point that I asked for help, it was like I hit rock bottom. But I did ask for help, and it was there almost immediately. I think y'all stopped cooking and everything for me. Mm-hmm. They were preparing their supper dinner, and I called, and initially I didn't call it, I texted. Initially it was like, well, we'll eat supper and we'll see you in a minute kind of a thing. And then it was, on second thought, we're just going to come on over. So they did, and I think it must have been 10 trees. I had, I think, 6 in the ground. And it took me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours to get them in the ground. And he had the other 4 planted in like 15 minutes or something. Yeah, it went like that. And one of them he even replanted because it didn't line up with the others. So technically he planted 5 in far less time than it took me to plant the others. He didn't have to use the shovel to crawl back to the car and take a seat 500 times and stuff like I did. So yeah, that was totally the posse coming. It was so helpful. And that my point when I had said that in a previous broadcast, ask for the help. People don't mind helping you. I mean, we were both, it was hot. that day. It was muggy. Both of us were two little sweat buckets. Well, he was sweaty. I was only slightly glistening because I am a Southern belle, so I was only slightly glistening. That was a lot, right?
Probably.
Yeah. It was really hot. And I wasn't doing hot at that point. I mean, a little bit overheated, and I was like, oh boy, I gotta go sit down. So I wasn't doing well, but we did. We're out in the field, both of us just jock sweat hugging, and he's telling me just to call me, call me, I'll help you, just call, don't ever do this again, So that was heartwarming and needed, and all of that. So it was family pulling together, helping family. Family is a good thing. I am all about family. I'll do anything. Oh, here we go again for family. Golly day. Good thing I don't wear mascara because, well, my eyelashes are. Can you see that I have eyelashes back again?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Yeah, they're back. I don't bother putting mascara on them because I figure I'll probably injure myself. So, not worth it. So the other thing that we were talking about just before we began the broadcast was she was asking me about the chemo treatments. And one thing that we had remembered was last week, the day after the treatment, I was even self-aware that I was grumpy. And when I mentioned I was grumpy, what was your response? Do you remember?
I've seen that happen on TV.
Yeah. If it happened on TV, it's got to be real. Absolutely. And that was like the other group of treatment. I don't remember getting grumpy. I remember getting frustrated with my weakness and such like that. But that day I was like grumpy. I mean, I was complaining about like messes in the kitchen and wow. This week, I don't know if it was self-awareness that stopped it, but I didn't get grumpy this time. And I know that everyone was thankful. And then you were asking me about the treatment this time. What were you saying? What were you saying?
I was asking how many you had left now.
2 down in this group. Then I'm off. I have one more this coming up Thursday. They're swapping me from Tuesdays to Thursdays now, and it'll continue on Thursdays until. So I have a third one that's coming up Thursday, and then I have a week off. And probably during that week off, I'll recover enough that I won't want to go back and get more. Yeah. It's sort of like I just don't. I'm not in it. I'll admit, even I've had moments that I've been like, you know what? Just forget it. It ain't fun. I ain't doing it. I'm done. And then I do scrape myself back together and report back in and get hooked up to a poisonous drug. Somehow that's just so logical, isn't it? I mean, you need poison so you live. Logic just doesn't dictate like that, does it? It's like an oxymoron. Like jumbo shrimp.
Which are delicious.
Speaking of that, I had a salad last night, and it was a Caesar salad, and it had Caesar dressing on it. Did everyone know they put anchovies in that? And I happen to be allergic to seafood.
I thought they only did that to like authentic Caesar dressing.
Word up, the Olive Garden brand really has anchovies in it, and
well, that's probably an authentic one.
Olive
Garden.
All I know is I was sitting there like, and then Ash was like, "Did you know that your face is all red?" Oh, well, good. I am so allergic to fish and seafood and such, and it was a Benadryl sort of a moment, quick. 2 to be exact. Needed, very needed. But at any rate, after that, I have off the week, and then I go back for 3 more treatments. Then I'm off a week, then 3 more treatments. Does that equal 12 that we got?
I was distracted by the dog, to be
I know.
completely honest.
She's under there tapping my foot for some reason. The dog is strategically placed under the table right now, and she's sharing foot space. She's part on her feet, part on mine.
There were a lot of toenails going on down there.
The dog has got some serious toenails, and she doesn't mind using them.
I noticed just now. It totally distracted me. I have no idea what you said.
It's going to be 12 total treatments. So it's 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and I don't know. I'm just thinking that 1 week off will start feeling good enough that I don't want to go back for more.
So that's 3 months?
Oh, that does equal 3 months, doesn't it? That's like Christmas time, isn't it? Before this is over, it started, we'll say September, just for quick calculations. Christmas time.
But at least it stops before like actual Christmas, right?
I guess. I don't know. I haven't calculated, but then comes chemo radiation, from what I understand, directly after. And everyone, I have a friend that just finished, I think she's still in radiation. And she said her only complaint was it caused great fatigue. She said it didn't hurt or make her feel sick or anything. It just made her feel very fatigued. And I meant to shut my phone off.
I remember to shut mine off.
I didn't
impressed myself.
I didn't remember to. Kudos to you. And the bird's angry, apparently. I don't think I've ever heard her make that sound.
At least we know the dog isn't bothering her.
That's true, because she's bothering us. Yesterday, she didn't even make her cameo appearance like she usually does. And another friend told me that her radiation only made her really tired. So I should be good for the holidays.
I think so.
I see cookies in their future.
Cranberry cheese dip.
I think you like that more than everyone else.
I don't know why, though. Why doesn't everyone like that?
It is pretty.
It's delicious.
She says it's delicious, but it is something that she requests every year. So hopefully the holidays will remain pretty close to on tap.
I would think so.
It should. It would be sad if the holidays are also like full of me just kind of mopey kind of. I mean, when I recorded alone, I was really tired feeling. And then when I looked at some of it later, I was like, ooh, girlfriend, you're looking really tired. You've got like no energy. Who'd want to watch this? But I guess it's still full of information just the same, I hope. Sort of tired feeling today, but it might be the remnants of my big old dose of Benadryl last night, thanks to my delicious salad. It's good though. But for the anchovies, looks like we're having internet issues too.
Are we?
Yeah, that's what that. I don't know why we would, but we are. So we're sort of in and out, folks. It's what it is. We live rural, and internet is not always our best friend, even though, not doing a commercial here, but we do use Starlink, and it is better than the previous provider. And it is cloudy out, in all fairness. That might be interrupting the feed. I don't know. But most people that do have it, that are in the rural area, do like it. And We are so far off topic now.
We can't help it.
I know, it's the way that we actually talk. This is how conversations between the two of us actually go. They bounce all around. And
This is probably how I forgot that other thing the other week. This is probably why.
More than likely. Yeah, because that's what we do. We just, it's how we talk to each other. Every conversation is a bounce around. That's probably how you forgot it.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
what were your thoughts that day? You didn't actually say. Was it like, well, my boxed the bald head really well? Or
It was.
I had on a hat, didn't I?
No.
Oh, I should have. I don't know how to get a nice bald head that's full of sunburn.
It was just, I don't know. I don't know why it was so shocking because, like, I knew it was going to happen. I mean, I knew you were sick, so it wasn't like, wow, what happened to Ma? But still, it was just really a big difference because the last time I saw you, we were at lunch and you were perfectly fine. And it was just so completely different that day.
I don't remember. Had chemo actually started that day at lunch, or was it pre-chemo?
It was pre-chemo.
We went out just like days before
it
started.
I think it was like the day before.
It only took 3 treatments, and my hair was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it took us. It was every other week, and it was the 3rd treatment that made it leave. So that means that like maybe 6 weeks must have lapsed.
Yeah, it had been a long time.
So yeah, was it pausing also that I was so weak?
It was like, I don't know. I knew you were sick, but then that day I was like, wow, she's sick.
Usually, I mean, that day was different, but usually I was able to soldier through every aspect of it. Just, I feel fine. Everything's good. But that day, between the heat and the absolutely not cooperating hard stone earth, and knowing that I just needed to still press through and get the trees in the dirt so they didn't die. I had already made them wait out of the soil. I had already had them about a week or so, hadn't I?
At least.
Yeah. So it was at that point, I really have to get it done. And it had been, I think I had had the chemo the week before, and it was my actual week off of chemo. But they give you a shot to help make your blood build back up again. And that shot, weirdly, is what would whoop me. I wouldn't make it fairly okay through the actual chemo. And then they followed up with that absolutely dreadful shot. And that makes your bones hurt, and supposedly it's helping your blood build back up again. And they show you this graph where, the chemo makes your blood drop real low. And if you don't take the shot, and it drops even lower, and it stays lower. But once you get the shot, it goes rocketing right back up again. Yeah, no, I don't think I was experiencing that rocketing back up experience. And with my blood being so low, Miracle Mom, if you're watching this, thank you for explaining this to me. I hope she does watch it, but I reference her a few times. But she explained to me that your red blood cells are what's carrying your oxygen to the brain. And when you don't have a sufficient supply of them running around, the oxygen isn't really sufficient either. So part of the weakness was that I wasn't actually getting sufficient blood flow. And I don't know. It's no way you've ever seen me that weak before, though, either. That, like, across the board sick.
I'd never seen you weak like that. I'd never seen you with your new look before. It was just, I don't know, shocking, but it shouldn't have been, but it was.
Well, plus, by the time they got there, I'm just kind of standing in the field crying. And then when he was like, okay, where do you want the first tree? And I'm crying, I just put it anywhere. Anywhere's fine. You know, and he's like looking back at me like, I don't even know what to do here. So I imagine, I don't know, it was probably kind of shocking to everyone. Any other, oh, you asked about my shirt yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I had on a chicken life shirt. It had a big picture of a chicken on it, and it was living the good life. It's a shame I didn't show it because it's like a great saying.
I was hoping you were gonna like stand up and show it.
Yeah, well, this one's got nothing on it, so no fun here. I'll wear it again. I'll wear it next week, and then everyone will feel sorry for me if they only have one shirt.
I couldn't have been the only one curious.
I'll show it next week when I record them. Any other things that you'd like to talk about?
No, I think that was kind of my main one.
Yeah, obviously you'll need to ride with me on some of the trips to get radiation. It's got to be some way to make that long trek fun. I can't imagine otherwise. It's so far all of the chemo treatments, because they take so long. I go alone. Like, I don't know. I can't tie someone up for that amount of time. And it's like I'm gone 4.5 hours or something like that. So I go to chemo alone because it's a long time, and it's not actually that much fun to whoever's would be with you. And yeah, so I just go along to it. And one of my youngins just completely distracted everything that I was saying, which isn't that difficult anymore. Brain fog is real during chemo. I'll just keep saying that one. It is real. And the big favor that I'll ask again, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And if you hit the like button, it does help push the message into the algorithms. And I would totally appreciate that. I consider this a ministry. I don't consider it a program. I don't consider it a possible money-making thing or anything like that. My whole goal is just to use it as a ministry to help others. Lets those that are also in the battle have some idea of what maybe they can look forward to. Give a community for those that are in the battle, have been in the battle, to support each other. Give families a source. You know, we're not the only ones that are in this. I know that the other day when I went in for chemo, the woman, they stop you and ask if you've had any certain symptoms before you go very far in. And she said that so far at least 60 people had stopped to check in. And I was there, I checked in like around 1 o'clock. So there is no shortage of people going through this. It's plenty of us. And I just want to give a loving community and a place to share our faith. It is my faith that's pulling me through this and keeping me strong. I can promise you that. And thank you for joining us. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get the notifications. The channel is really hard to find because it's really new. So thank you for joining us. And until we meet again, peace be with you.